Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Tuesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. I am Glenora Shipura. Starting us off in the news tonight, the Windhoek's informal settlements witnessed a steep rise in shack fires this year, with 42 incidents and 4 confirmed deaths recorded between January and June. The fires have become a recurring tragedy, ravaging homes and lives across multiple constituencies, with Tobias Hainyeko, Moses Kharuab, and Samora Makhael topping the list of affected areas. Now, statistics obtained from the Windhoek municipality indicate that January recorded the highest number of shack fires, with 14 reported incidents. Between February and March, a total of 10 fires were reported to authorities, with the last 3 months experiencing 18 fires, resulting in 4 deaths. The most recent incident, which occurred in mid-June, tragically claimed the life of 29-year-old Johannes Nathaniel. Community members of the Havana informal settlement said that they struggled to rescue Nathaniel as the fire spread rapidly. In another blaze in April, 2 minor children aged 4 and 6 lost their lives when their home in the One Nation informal settlement caught fire. In May, a life was lost in the Ombili location on Omuvapu Street, the same street where 2 other deaths had occurred earlier in April, making it one of the deadliest zones. Residents continue to suffer repeated losses. On the 19th of June, a family in Havana lost their home to a fire for the second time. On the 1st of March, 4 families were left homeless following a fire incident in Windhoek. Moses Kharuab constituency councillor Stephanus Ndengu told Namibian Sun structural issues and delayed service delivery are contributing factors to shack fires. The problem is that demarcation is taking too long, Ndengu said. The fire brigade also takes long to reach the informal settlements to put out the fire. We did write a letter to the fire brigade for a mobile fire station in informal settlement, as that might help, he added. In our next story, patients in and around Korigas in the Kunene region are apparently turning to private healthcare providers after repeated failures to receive treatment at the state-run Korigas District Hospital. According to sources who spoke to Network Media Hub, patients, many of whom travel long distances from rural areas, are waiting the entire day without being attended to by hospital staff. In some cases, they are sent home and told to return the following day without receiving any medication or consultation. We must travel from afar and nobody really says anything. We wait here all day and nobody helps us, said one elderly patient. Another individual reported having to seek care at a private practice in Korigas after failing to get assistance from the hospital. The situation is reportedly linked to a lack of available doctors and clinical staff at the hospital. Complaints about the same issue surfaced last year when it was reported that recruitment efforts for medical professionals had failed after applicants declined offers to work at the facility. The newspaper reached out to the Kunene Regional Healthcare Director Thomas Shapumba with a detailed inquiry, but received no response by the time of print. Phone calls also went unanswered. The Ministry of Health and Social Services Public Relations Officer indicated no formal complaints had been received and referred all queries back to the regional director. Moving on, the Kavanga West region has recorded a disturbing surge in gender-based violence cases, with 60 incidents reported from January to June this year alone, already surpassing the 55 cases recorded over the same period in 2024. This was revealed yesterday by Kavanga West Police Regional Commander Commissioner Julia Sakua Neo during the official activation of the #EndGBV Namibia campaign in the region. Breaking down the numbers for 2025 so far, the region recorded 20 rape cases with 18 arrests, 2 attempted rape cases with 1 arrest, 2 cases of crimes against youth, sex with a minor, both with arrest, 5 murder cases related to domestic violence, all suspects arrested, 6 attempted murder cases with 3 arrests, 14 assaults, GBH, grievous bodily harm, cases with 11 arrests, 7 assaults through threat cases with 5 arrests, 1 common assault case, 2 general assault cases, both with arrest, and 1 malicious damage case. In total, 60 cases have been recorded so far this year, with 48 arrests made. Only 5 cases have been finalized, which Commissioner Sakua Neo explained is expected due to the complexity and prolonged nature of GBV investigations. Last year, by June, 55 GBV-related cases had been reported, with 41 suspects arrested. The comparison shows a year-on-year increase of 9%, indicating that GBV is on an upward trend in the region. Rape remains the most prevalent GBV offense, particularly involving minors, followed closely by elderly victims. Domestic violence, especially assault through threat among intimate partners, ranks second. The commissioner further stated that all suspects in murder cases between 2024 and 2025 were male, with most victims female, including an infant. One of the most distressing cases reported last year involved a 1-month-old baby who was hit on the head with a stone and later died from the injuries. A crime-prone zone analysis pointed to Bunia as the top hotspot in the region, followed by Murenguru, Kahenge, Murani, and Ngaute. These areas experienced the highest incidence of GBV, mostly occurring at night. Commissioner Sakua Neo noted that crimes often happen while children are left unattended at home, with adults out drinking at informal alcohol outlets known as kuka shops. From a broader perspective, the total GBV cases for 2024 stood at 92, with 66 suspects arrested, leaving 12 suspects still outstanding. Now, the success rate for arrest and case progress stood at 72%, according to the police. Commissioner Sakua Neo expressed concern over the growing number of cases and urged the public to take the statistics as a wake-up call. By the end of the year, we'll surpass last year's total cases, which is nothing to be proud of, she said. In her keynote address, Kavango West Governor Verna Sinibo underscored the importance of community involvement in ending GBV. She highlighted that the #EndGBV Namibia campaign is not merely symbolic, but designed to inform, educate, and spark honest conversations across homes and communities. In our next story, Oshana Regional Governor Elia Irimari, during the launch of the campaign to combat gender-based violence, stated that all genders feel the pain of gender-based violence and should work hand in hand by sparking long-term dialogue within communities. Speaking at the Leo Shopola Community Hall in Oshakati, Irimari urged Namibians to read the Bible, which he said condemns GBV and does not subscribe to misogyny and misandry, but for 2 genders to coexist. He said parents should also stop raising their children in harmful traditional ways where girls are taught not to answer back to a man. Irimari said GBV is not a one-way traffic, as it can be committed by either side, either gender. Irimari also urged traditional leaders to host community meetings to engage with their subjects on addressing GBV issues and tackling the root causes. The campaign was officially launched on the 4th of June 2025 at UN Plaza in Windhoek by the First Gentleman Epaphras Ndaitwa, alongside the Ministers of Information and Communication Technology and Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare. The campaign is a flagship part of Namibia's national GBV response strategy. Speaking at the same occasion, Simon Idipo, Chief of Campaigns from the Information Ministry, said the operation aims to promote a culture of speaking out, particularly encouraging men and women to openly discuss the root causes of GBV and explore community-specific solutions.
Say, we Oshana, we have decided to kick out any form of gender-based violence. So that we can be in an equal society. So I declare this campaign on in this region. Thank you.
That concludes our top stories. On the other side of this, we will be taking a look at our story of the day. Getting into the story of the day, Namport hosted Seafarers Day, aligning with this year's theme set by the International Maritime Organization, My Harassment Free Ship. The event highlighted the urgent need to promote a maritime workplace where respect, dignity, and zero tolerance for harassment or discrimination are upheld as non-negotiable values. Let's take a look.
The theme is My Harassment Free Ship. It is for this reason that we are gathered here today to extend our deepest gratitude to all seafarers for their dedication, resilience, and vital role they play in global trade. It is also a day to acknowledge the sacrifices and hardships seafarers endure in their profession. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at International Seaborne Trade Economy and Civil Society, our seafarers sail the seas every day. They move the world. They connect 90% of global trade and supply chain. They transport and deliver goods, food, medical supplies, and commodities that fuel our economy and sustain our communities. Their work are essential for our lives and the economy, yet unseen and underappreciated. At a professional level, seafarers form a remarkable global workforce that call a ship their work of place. It is a unique, exciting, and demanding environment where they make significant sacrifices and face numerous challenges, where their safety is put at risk and their rights denied.
The Erongo Regional Council is set to host the inaugural WIS Investment Conference on Friday next week. More on this in economic news on the other side of this. Getting into the economic news, the Erongo Regional Council is set to host the inaugural WIS Investment Conference on Friday, the 4th of July 2025 at the Swakopmund Hotel and Entertainment Center. The event, under the theme WIS in Transition, Mining, Tourism and Beyond, is aimed at attracting investment to the WIS settlement in the Daures constituency. The conference, spearheaded by the Erongo Regional Council with support from the Office of the Governor and the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development, is part of a wider initiative to promote socio-economic development in one of Erongo's least developed constituencies. Daures is the only constituency in Erongo without a town, said Mupenzeni Netlamo, Chief Regional Officer of the Erongo Regional Council. We see these as an opportunity to advocate for WIS elevation to local authority status. The region is positioning WIS as an open frontier for investment in sectors such as mining, retail, agriculture, property development, banking, and tourism. With the reopening of the WIS tin mine, the area is experiencing renewed interest. We now need supporting infrastructure, banking, housing, retail to sustain this growth, Netlamo said. Kennedy Hoseb, Regional Councillor for Daures, said the conference seeks to erase misconceptions about the viability of the settlement. After the mine closed in the early 1990s, many gave up on WIS, but it still has some of the best infrastructure among village councils in the country. We now want to see SME growth not just in venting but in mining services, tourism, property development, and more. Josep said. Now, the choice of Swakopmund as the host city was due to logistical constraints in Uys. This is a maiden conference, Swakopmund being the regional capital, has the required amenities. Netlabo said, "We hope future editions can take place in Uys itself. Entry to the conference is free, but registration is required. We want to see the private sector calling the CRO's office non-stop," said Josep, adding that only through public-private cooperations can the region achieve meaningful progress. The Erongo Regional Council is aligning the initiative with Namibia's Vision 2030 and National Development Plan 6. In our next economic story, once home to one of Namibia's largest vanadium mines, the Ahabanab site is now being transformed into a promising tourism project. Ahabanab Lodge, once seen as an abandoned industrial site, it is slowly but surely developing into an attraction for travelers eager to explore Namibia beyond the well-trodden paths. The driving force behind this transformation is Lorne Peye Valley Mbwale, raised in a village where trains and boardrooms were unknown concepts. Her journey took her from the city back to the speculations of Ahabanab Farm. There, amidst ruins left behind since the mine closed in 1958, she saw an opportunity for a fresh start. The lodge's early days were marked by uncertainty. We didn't exactly know what we were doing, Mbwale admits, but with dedication, experience, and the support of local communities such as the Himba, Khoisan, and Themba, the project began to take shape. It was never just about economic gain. Tourism is more than profit. It's about authentic experiences, people, their cultures, and stories, the founder emphasizes. Now, without detailed market research or professional planning, the lodge grew through passion, perseverance, and belief in the uniqueness of the location. It would have been easier to give up, says Mbwale, but her goal was clear: to contribute to Namibia's national development and enhance the country's visibility internationally. Though still relatively unknown, the lodge has already earned some recognition within 2 years, guided by the motto "Stadig maar seker." Slowly but surely, the Ahabanab Lodge team looks to the future with optimism. Next up, we dive into the financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 24.13, against the euro at 20.58, against the US dollar at 17.70, 2 Namibian dollars and 47 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went down, with Brent crude oil trading at 3.62%, going for $68 and 86 cents per barrel. We'll be taking a look at our international news after this. In our international news, another appalling attack on a hospital in Sudan has seen more than 40 people killed, many of them children and medics. The head of the World Health Organization has said, "We cannot say these louder," wrote Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus on X on Tuesday. "Attacks on health must stop everywhere." Al Mujlad Hospital was struck on Saturday and is located in West Kordofan state, close to one of the front lines where Sudan's warring parties are fighting in the conflict that is now in its 3rd year. The Rapid Support Forces blames its opponents, the Sudanese army, for attacking the hospital, as do 2 prominent civil society groups, but the army itself has yet to comment on the allegations. Since Sudan's civil war began in April 2023, the scale of suffering is so vast that the UN has labeled it the world's worst humanitarian crisis. In addition to allegations of genocide in Darfur, the murder of many thousands of civilians across the country, plus the displacement of millions more. Both sides in this conflict have been accused of carrying out war crimes on medical facilities and staff. According to evidence seen by BBC News, Arabic. Al-Majid Hospital in the town of Maghlad was the only functioning healthcare facility in the area, according to the Sudan Doctors Network. Of more than 40 people killed, 6 of them were children and 5 were health workers, the WHO's office in Sudan said on Sunday. Dozens of other people were injured too, it added. Crucially, the hospital ran a dialysis unit and focused on the care of civilians as opposed to soldiers, according to the Emergency Lawyers Group, which documents abuses by both the RSF and the army. We now swing over to the weather predictions for tomorrow. The capital city can expect a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions, while Katima Mulilo can also expect sunny weather conditions with a minimum of 11 and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. Aransplay can also expect some sunny weather conditions with a minimum of 11 and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius, while Oranjemund can expect some showers with a minimum of 9 and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius. We'll now head over to the sports desk, proudly brought to you by Sportswrap.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. It is soccer news from the English Premier League. It is Manchester United that's still shopping around for strikers and forwards, and it is the new striker that is linked to the club, and that is Brentford's Brian Mbeumo, and he's been made an offer, or Brentford's been made an offer of €60 million, and Manchester United also confirmed that they're in talks with the Chelsea forward, that is Christopher Nkunku, and he's been out of favour at Chelsea since 2023, battling to make the side. Also Manchester United that needs to sell a few players, and one player that's confirmed to be leaving Manchester United is Alejandro Garnacho, and he'll be leaving Manchester United for the new season, and that is new strikers and forwards that Manchester United trying to acquire. More soccer news is from the Club World Cup, and good news for Botafogo. They're from Brasilia, and they're into the last 16, and that's to the expense of a big club, Atletico Madrid. They actually lost 1-0 to Atletico Madrid, but Atletico Madrid needed to win that game by at least 3-0. So in Group B in the Club World Cup, it is now Botafogo that goes through, and also PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, also through in Group B at the Club World Cup. Then on to Formula One racing news. It is the next Grand Prix will be this coming weekend. It's going to be the Austrian Grand Prix at the home of Red Bull Honda. They're not doing well at the moment. It is Max Verstappen battling in third position on 155 points, hoping that the Austrian track will be a good track for them, for Red Bull Honda. They've been doing lots of testing there as well, obviously. So Oscar Piastri is leading at the moment, 198 points. He's got 5 wins and 8 podiums already this year. Lando Norris 176 in second position, both of them obviously racing in McLaren. And then in the constructors, it is also McLaren dominating, 374 points they have. It's a Mercedes-Benz on 199 and Ferrari on 183. And to close off today's international sports news, it is tennis news from the Hamburg Open. Number 1 seed Alexander Zverev, he was knocked out of the tournament by Alex Mueller of France. And then in the second round, it was Alex Mueller that also lost. He lost to Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime. So exciting tennis. It is the Hamburg Open being played on grass. So that is international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day. We talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Don't forget that you can catch Sunset News on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25, and also on our website, oneupto.com, every Monday to Thursday from 7:30 p.m. From me, Glenora Shipura, until next time.